Hello, everybody. Hi, everyone. Hello, welcome. Like and share as a comment. If you can hear me, please do let me know in the comment section. This is going to be a very quick live stream, guys. Please like and share as a comment. Just going to wait for another maybe 20 seconds and then we'll get started. Please like the video as a comment. I really appreciate it, guys. Please like as a comment. Another almost 20 seconds and then we'll get started. And happy Thursday to you guys watching. I feel so greasy. That's my sunscreen. Hello, guys. Let's get started. So, welcome everybody. Happy Thursday. My name is Wemimo, and I'm also known as Stat Number 5, and also known as TMO5 Kaduko. If you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you're a return subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back. So, today's live stream is about this post. I'm sure you've seen it sometimes in the news about a week or two ago. I was meaning to do it, but then I had lots of stuff to do. So, I actually decided to come discuss about this because years ago, I know of a family who actually did this to their nephew. Yes, in fact, I know a church family who actually did this to their nephew. And so I was like, let me come chip in my own 2 cents because in this world now, in this current age, we now have Gen Z children. So let's read the story or let's read the news, and then whoever wants to come up later on, do let me know, and I'll pop the link in the comment section, and then you can jump onto the backstage and hear your opinion and views in regards to the title. So it says here that 13-year-old boy sues his Nigerian parents for cargoing him, shipping him to boarding school in Nigeria. So it says here that boy 13, whose parents sent him to boarding school in Africa, Nigeria precisely, starts family court case against family after claiming he was abandoned in court. So a 13-year-old boy has begun legal action against his family over claims his parents brutally, in quotes, took him abroad and enrolled him in a boarding school before abandoning in quotes him there. The boy, who cannot be identified, obviously because he's young as another age, contacted the British consulate and a child welfare organization after his parents registered him at a school in Africa before returning to the UK. Barristers for the boy claim his parents, in quote, physically and emotionally abandoned him, their son, because they were concerned he was getting involved in gangs in London, something the teenager, in quote, denies in the strongest terms. Hello, Susan. How are you, my beautiful sis? How are you? Happy Thursday. So, at a hearing which began on Tuesday, the boy's lawyers asked a judge to order that he be brought back to the UK, where he has lived since birth. But lawyers for the boy's father said he should be allowed to stay abroad and that the decision to, in quote, relocate him was in quote, a proper exercise of parental responsibility. I agree with that. In written submissions, the the solicitor for the boy said the parents' actions were based, in quotes, on the idea that there is no other way to respond to this potential risk than to remove the boy from the UK to Nigeria. The lawyer said the steps that this boy, not yet 14, has taken to try and remedy the awful situation he finds himself in are rare extreme. In quote, there is clear evidence that he is being harmed emotionally, psychologically, and possibly physically in the environment he has been placed. So let's stop that story there. I'm going to quickly share a story of a family that I said in the beginning of this video, where I said that I really stripping my own opinion. So I think this family, it was the first church I attended so far when I newly arrived in Scotland, and that was a Redeemed church. And this family, it's not as if maybe I was close to them. Obviously, everybody knew them in that church, and I've only just started attending the church. And I just heard it talk about that there's a nephew of them, maybe like a son to the man's older brother. And at that time, he was 16 years old. and it was a struggle to like get him to go to school. He dropped out of high school. They tried to cajole him to go to college. He refused. They tried to get him into apprenticeship. Hello, Olajimoke, how are you, my beautiful sis? Happy Thursday. So this uncle tried to get him to go to college, maybe get into what's it called now? Like if you want to go into internship or something, try to get him to stuff like that. It was not forthcoming. It was more like going with his bunch of friends. And his bunch of friends, I don't know the kind of friends he has, okay? But his family, his uncle was trying to make sure, like, obviously as Nigerian parents, we want our children to go to school, pass secondary school, then go to university, get your heads down there, be focused. That is what that's the desire of most parents, right? So for this boy, that was what his uncle here in Glasgow was trying to do for him. So obviously, being 16 years old, he has started moving with friends who are actually telling him that, come, if you do this, if you are a certain age, you can leave home. If you're a certain age, you don't have to live with your uncle anymore. If you're a certain age, you can get your own flat. He already has friends who are already putting that idea, who are already putting that thought in his head. So which meant that it wasn't going to college anymore. I mean, he dropped out of high school. I can't remember what class it was, but he dropped out of high school. They tried to get him to go do apprenticeship. He refused. They tried to get him to go to college. He was not attending. So it was practically like, it was just langba, like going anywhere and everywhere he want to do. And this was a boy, okay? So then I really didn't know the family well, but obviously the talk of that young boy was talk of the church then. And then they planned a trip. And before then, for him, before I felt like, hello, Abby, how are you? How are you today? So before then, I felt his uncle, his uncle has done all they could to make sure that, okay, we wanted to have a better start in life, go to school, do this, it was just not listening. It got to a whereby he will leave home for days and he will not come back home. And they'll be worried about him. Like, how can a child leave your presence? And if people ask you, where is so, you're like, he's left home. And this is a boy of 16 years old. He will leave home for days. They wouldn't find him. And then he would just stroll back into the house, take a shower, take a change of clothes. He will go again. Obviously, this country, they really can't discipline him in an African way. You all know how I mean. So this family decided to book an holiday. It was an expensive one because I remember the wife saying, this trip is going to cost us a lot of money. But this boy, we would not let him to doju. We will not allow him to shame us. I don't understand how that boy ended up living with his uncle. I don't know, maybe his parents are in Nigeria, maybe they just brought him to maybe polish his life, but the boy was just not, like, no matter what they did for him here, it was just not, So they planned an holiday to go to Nigeria. And that was how they go into Nigeria. And they left this boy back in Nigeria. They left him back in Nigeria. And trust me, God forbid I have a child who I won't be able to talk to. Even the fact that I have my children here, and at time when they annoy me, I tell them that, come, if you don't behave yourself, if I hear that from school, or school called me to tell me this about you, I will ship you to Nigeria. I say that to my children, and I don't think there's any parent in today's world, in the diaspora, who have not said that to their parents. So in the argument of this boy's parent now, they said there's evidence that he was moving with gangs, and we all know Black children with gangs in London. We all know the dangers of Black children in gangs. We've seen even Black children who are not directly involved in gangs. We've seen how, because they are a friend to somebody who is in gang, got caught up in their buying thing, and then they'll see somebody on the street, they'll think, oh, that person is that social person, only for that person to end up being the wrong person. Do you know how many Black kids have been unalive on the street of London because maybe they are affiliated to some sort of gangs? They might not currently be a part of the gang, but just because they know one person who is a part of a certain rivalry gang. We all hear that news every day. Look at the story of Damilola Taylor that happened years ago in London. Look at the story of recently there was another young rapper in London who they mistaken for another gang member they were looking for, and they unalive this guy, even though he had no affiliate whatsoever with any gangs. There was a news of how they unalive him for no reason, because they thought he was a gang member. They thought it was a rivalry, or they thought it was a rival. So the news of gangs in London is a sad, bitter case that most African parents, they don't want their children involved. And let me tell you, there's no place in London that you not find a gang. And when you find a gang, you will see that it's majority of Black people that are involved in that gangs. If you look at the population of gangs in London, Trust me, now black people, now black children, plenty, lots of black children. So in the case of these parents now, they said they've tried, I believe these parents have tried all they could in order to, rein this boy away. And it's only 13 years old. Yes, there are gang members as young as that age in London. There are gang members as young as that age in London. Guys, please like this live stream. There's 12 of you watching me and there's only 4 likes. There are children as young as 13 in gangs in London. We're just talking about children even below the age of 16 who have boyfriends and girlfriends. And I won't be surprised if such they've started KDYing. So these parents are now saying that they've tried their possible means of making sure they can like cut ties with his affiliation with the gang they believe he was in. But this boy, obviously, they shipped him to Nigeria as per Gen Z child. Yes, children in boarding school, they have mobile phones. They have access to the internet. Even if he does not have access to a mobile phone, he has an access to the internet. He will have been able to reach out, like children someone that was born here in the UK. He will have been able to browse on the internet to contact the British consulate up until he was able to get the help he needed. That was how it went to people, because I read comment, people were like, how did he get hold of a phone? And I was like, what kind of air talk is that? A child in a boarding school. If he doesn't have a personal mobile phone of his, he will be able to bribe some of his students, of his seniors who has a phone, like, oh, allow me use your phone for 1 hour, I'll give you so, or I'll give you my provision. Even if he doesn't have access to a mobile phone, he will definitely have access to an internet, maybe a computer in school. So these parents now said, obviously, this child was still in Nigeria as per when this hearing was being heard, and he contacted the consulate, British consulate in Nigeria, that his parents, they abandoned him in Nigeria without letting him know and stuff like that. And in my own opinion, if I was this child's parent, I would do exactly the same thing. Absolutely. If a child, because at the end of the day, my mom always say this adage that she did not kill her own parents, that our own parents grew old to the age that, yes, you are happy that your parents grew to that age. So for the fact that she did not kill her own parents, our own children should not kill her as well. Like, you two don't kill me. For the fact that I did not kill my parents, I don't want any child to buy me as well. So in this case, if you want peace of mind for your child, and like I can tell the dangers of gangs, not even in the UK alone, everywhere else in the world, you don't even want to hear the top word of gangs. So this boy now, the lawyers are saying that there's evidence to show that he's not psychologically okay, that he is not emotionally all right, based on the fact that he's in, Abby said, unfortunately, exactly. His parents were like, that he's not all right where he is, that blah 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 blah. And he said, okay, according to the lawyer for the boy was like, the guy is not physically okay. He has been emotionally abandoned. That that's wrong thing. That the parents should have done that to him. That they should try and that the judge should rule that the parents should bring the boy back. And I felt like in some instance, if a child gets involved in gangs, trust me, the authorities here in the UK they will. As a parent, all you can do is to try and ensure your children are not into stuff like that. But it's hard, because if you're like a working family, working father, working mother, they've gone to work, the children go to school, you expect that before you come back from work that your child will be back at home, right? So children will be back at home, and then they'll go about again with their friends. So a parent who is at work, how do you want to know what your children is up to while you're at work? Some, they are smart enough, they will get back home before their parents get back, right? But in a case whereby the parents obviously they have reasons to believe that he's involved in gangs or is affiliated with some sort of gang members. And as this is their own parental, this is the way they could, save their head, save even that child from even himself. Because like I said, the dangers of gangs in the UK, especially in London, it's not a small thing, though. So according to the hearing here, the judge will ask, the boy's lawyer asked the judge to order the parents to bring him back to the UK. And I felt, in my own opinion, that for the fact that this boy was back already in Nigeria, I felt that the UK authorities should hands off, because this child belongs to this parent. They have a say over him. He's an underage, he's a 13-year-old. Only the parents will have a decision on how they want to raise him. Only the parents will have a decision on how to decide what happens. Okay, we don't want him to school here in the abroad. We want him to school back home in Nigeria. And there are other instances whereby some parents don't necessarily ship their children back to Nigeria or to a boarding school just because they are misbehaving. Some parents send their children back home to Nigeria so they could learn the culture. Because, yeah, children in the diaspora, I must say, they are spoiled. Me sitting down here, at times, if you hear the way I scream at my 19-year-old that, oh, you can't go and cook me rice. and then she will cook rice, salt. And I'm like, why did you pour a whole tub of salt in a cup of rice? And she was just like, The only thing they can cook is pasta. Is it pasta that they will eat for the rest of their life? Pasta and tuna, eggs, bread, what of other things? Cook jollof rice, cook something else. But rice. And then I'll be like, okay, why do I have to tell you? And the children in this country, you will tell them to do something once. As a parent, they won't listen to you. But if their teacher tell them to do something once, they will do it. And I will tell them again for the second time, go and do this. In a cool voice, so they will not do it. It's until I shout. That's when they will go and do it. And then when you don't shout, they don't like being shouted at. And I'll be like, okay, the first 2 times that I've told you to go and do something, I did not shout at you. I spoke to you as adult to adult, right? That we are respecting one another. But you did not respect me, because if you respected me, when I told you to go and do this stuff for the first time, you will have gone to do it. When I told you to go and do it the second time, you will have gone to do it. But until I screamed the third time, it had to take 3 attempts before you now decide to go and do that thing. And then you are mad that I shouted at you. I'm like, because I respected you the first time. I respected you the second time. The third time, respect out of the window. I shout, and then you go and do the job. And they're like, you don't have to shout. I'm like, no, because the first 2 times when I told you to go do that thing, I did not have to shout, and you did not do it. So now that I shouted, you understand. So it's in a way, like I said, I felt like the British authorities should hands off. Queen's Parade, I felt that the UK authorities should hands off the fact that these parents have sent this boy back home to Nigeria, because trust me, if that boy ended up in any gang fight, they will jail him, and society will blame his parents. That what did they do? That could they not have done something? Like I said, me now I'm sitting out here. God forbid I have such child that is involved in all this kind of nonsense. There was a time my oldest daughter was misbehaving. I was ready to ship her back home to Nigeria, and I was practically telling her, I took her passport, I took everything off her. And I was like, you know what? When I was not even your age when I left home. And my dream is to keep all of my children at home till obviously they are able to stand on their own. And for the fact that I want to keep them at home, it's not because I want to control them. No. Obviously, if they can live with me and maybe give me dig money every month. So maybe by the time they turn 25, they'll be able to buy their own flats. Because while they are living at home with mom and dad, they are saving money, which means that they are not spending a lot of money on rent. They're not spending a lot of money paying council tax. But for the fact that they are living at home, they can save money. And maybe a month, all I'm asking them to contribute to the household is maybe £100 a month. So me, I want to keep my children at home for as long as possible. And if any child, that was, like I said, there was a time that she was getting into one trouble or the other, one trouble with the other. And at some point, I was actually starting to point out fingers at my husband that, you know what, you are the one who's following them, that when you're supposed to be hard on them, you're not hard on them. You'll be like, this, and my husband will be like, oh, I just didn't want to be too harsh. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't want to be too harsh? Because at the end of the day, a spoiled child belongs to the mother, and the good one belongs to the father. So now that you say you don't want to be too harsh, society will not say, the mother was harsh, but the father is the one who said, I don't want to be too harsh. And they will say the spoiled child belongs to the father. No, the spoiled child always belongs to the mother. So, like I said, if assuming this boy's parents did not ship him back to Nigeria, and God forbid he returned here or is here, and he got involved in a kind of gang fight in London, trust me, they will try him, they will jail him, and society will blame the parents that, what did you do? That you failed our child as a parent. Now, these parents have now stood up and done what they felt was best for their child. Because there's something here that the boy's lawyer said. The boy's lawyer said that lawyer for the boy's father said that he should be allowed to stay abroad, and that the decision to relocate him was a proper exercise of parental responsibility. So that's the parent. The parents are saying that is their own responsibility, because, like I said, they still have to make decisions on him. God forbid if he end up in hospital and is needing treatment, his parents are not there. As a 13-year-old, the boy can consent, like, okay, I want this surgery or I don't want him. But in a case like this, that the parents had the upper hand, that the parents made the first move, they did not involve the authority, I felt that they should leave him where he is. We don't know the kind of boarding school that it is. There are some good boarding schools in Nigeria, and there are some that, God forbid, you don't want to send your child there. But I want you to understand that for the fact that this parent decided to send their child back home to Nigeria, it wouldn't have been an easy decision for them to make. It would not have been an easy decision for that parent to make. Yeah, so Abby, it's always the mother's fault. A child that misbehaves badly, they will say, oh, it's the mother. It's the mother's fault. A good child belongs to the father. The spoiled one belongs to the mother. And as a mother, you just have to chip in all your best. Like, I am the odd one here. Between me and my husband, I am the odd one here. I'm always the one that is giving the bad blows. And it's not maybe I'm giving them bad blows all the time. Like I said in that example, I'll tell them to do something once. We are respecting one another. You don't do it once, I will still say it again the second time. And we are respecting one another by not shouting. By the time I shout by the third time, then they will scramble, they'll go and do it. And they're like, and they're not always happy when I shout. Them like, okay, I've told you the first, second time, go and do this thing. You did not do it. So it took me the willpower to shout that, oh, you go and do that thing now, or else. And then you see them, and they'll be like, I'm like, okay, if you like, hit your head against the wall, because that's none of my business. Because if your teacher asks you to do something in school, at one instruction, you will do it. Why do I have to tell you 3 times? Jumoke said, as a parent, we only do and try our best to raise our children to be the best, but pray to God to make them the best as we will. Exactly. And how many weeks ago was I saying here that my kids they've now come to a stage whereby they don't want to go to my church anymore. And anytime I say, we are going, in fact, I have to give them notice. Like, now, if we are going to church on Sunday, I will have to tell them from Monday that whatever outfit you are going to wear, we are going to church on Sunday. I don't want to hear story on Sunday morning. You don't know what outfit to wear. And I'm like, with all these clothes in your cupboard, you don't know what clothes to wear. And I understand that 19 and 20, they are adults already. They can decide on what church they want to go. But obviously, the African parents in me will not allow them to go to another church. Because I'm like, how can we are from the same one household? Why would I be going to a particular church and you want to go somewhere else? That one wants to go to another one. Like, make it make sense. So in this boy's case now, the lawyer for the boy said the steps that this boy had to take, obviously the steps I took was he contacted the British consulate, was an awful situation he finds himself. In my own opinion, I did not find it as awful. Because trust me, if that boy was carrying pow in London and they catch him, they will jail him. But in order for that not to happen, in a way, in my own opinion, I felt like this parent are saving the UK, they are saving the society minus one gang member. Abi, because the rate that which gang member is growing in London, yeah, you guys will be surprised. So for the fact that these parents have said, okay, we've seen you, Niger, and children that I've seen in the past, some of the children that I've seen in the past that were sent back to Nigeria by their parents to go to boarding school, if you see them today, they are the best citizens. They are well behaved because they've learned brain, they've learned how to behave, they've learned to have value for things that on a normal day they will take for granted here. Now we are talking about Christmas now. One of my kids were like, Christmas present though, £50 budget. If it's more than £50, don't even bring it to my notice. And one of them gave me a list. And on that list, when I did a mental calculation of the items on the list, it was almost £250. And I'm like, auntie, move closer. I thought I told you that the budget is £50. Where did the extra 200 come from? And she was looking at me. And I'm like, go and review that list and bring it back again. But a child like that, who was sent to Nigeria, who was needed, maybe even if send them for a year to go live with your parents or to go live with a family member. But for me, the kind of parent I am, I will not allow my children to go live with a family member. I will not allow, not even with my parents. It's not because maybe I thought maybe my parents will not treat them well. No, it's just that I just can't do away with my children. Hence why I know that I have to have the iron and upper hand over them. So children, some of the children I've seen, and this example of this boy that I was talking about, if you see him now, in fact, if they sit him down now and start telling him the story of how his uncle bundled him to Nigeria, he will just laugh. He's now doing well for himself. He's doing absolutely well for himself. Assuming they've left him and say, okay, do whatever you want to do, right? You want to move out, you're 16 years old, and yes, children in this country, but by the time you get to the age of 16, 17, you can approach the local council and tell them that, you don't want to live with your uncle anymore, you don't want to live with your family, that you want a flat of your own. They will apply for him straight away. They put him on the benefit system that will allow him to have his own flat. And then he will start to do whatever. But as a parent, as African parents, we know that that's not what we want for our children. And African parents want their child to go to school, finish secondary school, go to college or university. If it is not college or university you want to go into apprenticeship or start doing something so that at the end of the day, you become a better adult for yourself. So the story continues that the lawyer for the boy said it is extraordinary that his parents would consider it fair or appropriate to leave him in such an environment. There are boarding schools here in the UK as well. So why do they think that boarding schools in Nigeria is not suitable for a child that was born here and then sent back to Nigeria to go school? So we don't know the name of the boarding school, but for him to have access to an internet or to a computer, so I've been able to contact the British consulate, I want to believe it's one of the best boarding schools that they've sent him to. And yes, parents just don't ship their children to boarding school and forget about them. While I was in secondary school, I had a friend who her mom was no longer married to her dad. So her dad remarried and she was in boarding school. I think she attended Federal Government Girls College, Shagamu then. So she would come home during summer or during holidays, and we would see, she's my friend. I mean, we were friends up until I left Nigeria, but we communicate once in a while now. So every time her dad goes to visit her, there's something they call maybe visiting day or open day. Her dad would buy provisions, and she's a girl. Her dad will buy all sanitary products, everything a girl needs, bras, underwear. And because she's my friend, I would tag along because her dad drives. I would tag along. We are neighbors. Like, our house is just across the street and mine is across the street. I would tag along. I did that like, oh, Dupe, I'm going to go and see Jennifer. Are you coming? And I'm like, yes. I'll tell my parents that, oh, Jennifer's not going to go and see Jennifer. Can I come along? They at least me seeing students then, they all look good. And I want to believe that the same standard is still what majority of these boarding schools are now. Unlike some of the ones that we don't know, the ones that happened in Lagos, the Dowen College one. Me, if no matter how big your money is, don't take your child to Dowen College. That aside. But some boarding schools actually provide effective care to children. And as parents as well, you won't say because you've taken your child to a boarding school, you now want to abandon it. Obviously, his parents are not back in the UK. They'll probably have family members who will go and visit and check up on him. So they've not actually abandoned him there. They are helping shape his life. And I'm telling you, in future, it will thank his parents for this action that they did. But now that he has gone to go and put his parents in Wahala now, what's going to be the outcome of this? Because they are now asking the judge to rule that the parents bring the boy back. Me, I will refuse. So I will not bring him back. I will refuse. So let's continue reading the article. So the boy's lawyer said, in quote, the likely effect of returning home does not include being stabbed, shot, or other dramatic outcomes that his parents fear based on their views of gang members. Like, why is this lawyer talking about? We hear of news of gang members. How they mistaking another person as a part of a certain rival. Like I said, a young rapper was mistaken as a gang member and he was spied. They approached him and they stabbed him. How many more gang stories like that have we heard? So this lawyer is now saying that the fear of him being stabbed, the fear of his parents that he might be stabbed or it might be this, it's not what the parents should have. It's not what the parents are thinking for them to have sent him back to Nigeria. Like, lawyer, are you all right? Are you okay? So, obviously, the boy's evidence that he's not in any gang. How do you want to believe that? The boy is saying that he's not in any gang. How do you want to believe that? Obviously, his parents will have evidence. They will have seen reasons. They will have seen things to convince them that, no, this boy, no, we can't leave him here. We can't leave him here. So the story continues that the boy was described in court as very polite and articulate. Then they write gang for forehead. Do they write gang on forehead? They don't. They don't. And a keen fan of football and cooking. So the boy's lawyer said he was enrolled by his parents in a school abroad and was taken without consultation and warning. If they consulted him or if they tell him that, oh, we are taking you to Nigeria to go and study, the boy would have run away. That boy would have run away. I'm telling you. Maybe if they kind of like sit him down and let him know why they were doing it and what the benefit of it will be for him, maybe he might have agreed to go. But in an instinct, trust me, that boy will run away. He would run away from home. So because this lawyer is saying that he was taken abroad without consultation, that his parents did not consult him or have a chat with him, or without anyone that warned him that, okay, Nigeria that you are going, we are going to enroll you in a school, and with few of his possessions, under the impression it was to care for an ill relative before his parents left. So apparently his parents said they were going home to go and look after an ill parent, and he only grabbed a few items. Anything that he left here behind, wherever he come home on holiday, his family can always replace it for him. Because at the end of the embodied school, you can't go with games and all of these things. So I really don't understand why the UK government, like I said, if this child starts behaving badly in the UK and it starts to get picked up by police, the parents will be shamed by the society. The parents will be shamed. And we all hear of this saying that good name is better than gold and silver. I guess his parents are trying to protect their good names and also protect him as well. Apart from the fact that we heard of gang members, there was a young girl, a young secondary school girl, who another boy was probably maybe asking out or was his girlfriend. This girl stepped in because the other boy was harassing the girl. Before we know it, the boy put a knife into the girl. The young girl died, protecting her friend from a certain boy. Obviously, because the girl said she was no longer interested in the boy, and the boy was maybe not mad, and he came. Obviously, when the girl like, no, leave her alone, stop harassing her, he plunged a knife in her. He plunged a knife in her. That's just a girl who was just protecting her friend. Talk more of somebody who is a gang member. And when you go do all of the extracurriculum activity that nobody sent them in darkness, they can do and undo. If you go to BBC News on YouTube here, you see stories of how gangs operate, how they go after each other. So this story continues that the barrister said this was a stark and quite brutal act. To me, it is not a brutal act. As an African parent, I clearly understand where his parents are coming from. It is not a brutal act. They just want to save his life. They want to help shape his life. And with the boy reporting that he received inadequate food and tuition and was being mistreated, that's a big lie. So the boy is claiming that while in the hostel or in the boarding school that he's not getting enough food, he's not getting tuition, that is, he's not going to class or what, and he was being mistreated. How was he being mistreated? I believe that's a lie. I believe that's a lie. So the story continues. She continued that he is patently extremely unhappy in Africa, that he claimed he hates it and finds it humiliating, and that his English friends tease him for having been deported. Did you guys hear? His English friends, which means that he's probably one of the best boarding schools in Nigeria. He's probably in one of the best boarding schools in Nigeria because he has English friends. So what are we talking about here? I think the UK government, in this case, they should just answer off and leave these parents alone to do what they felt is best for their child. But whatever benefits or support they are giving the parent for the boy, let them keep their money. Let them keep their money. Let them keep their money. Don't give me, as a parent, if my child is behaving badly and I start to send him back, or whatever benefit you think you are giving for that child, stop the payment. Don't give me anymore. Don't give me anymore. Let me put in action my parental rights on that child. And the story continued that Miss Fostrell, who is the boy's lawyer, said that the boy's mother accepts having physically chastised and abused her son while he was in UK. What parents does not chastise their child? What parent does not chastise their child? What parents? Is he shouting? There was a time I wanted to use Omorogun. In fact, not Omorogun, my hand. By the time I raised it up, and my son held my hand like this, it was me that held my hand because it was sore. Since then, by the time I shout, and talk, their brain will reset. You don't have to raise your hand on your children. There's no need for that. Talk, lesson, or talk, lesson is enough. Because like I said, children in this country, they don't like when you talk to them. They don't like when you go deeper talk with them. They don't like it. But when you give them such deeper talk, once they misbehave, they will reset their brains. So now, this lawyer is saying that the boy's mother agreed or accepted that she has once chastised him and abused her son while he was in the UK, and that while the boy is alive to the fact that he's not perfect, he's upset, confused, and distressed. Like, will the UK government love a child more than his parents? I clearly understand the fears of these parents. And in my own opinion, they are doing this to save and help this child. Because if he has the time to go and be frolicking on the street with alleged gangs, and you're not being useful for yourself, then I'll ship you back to in Africa. I was listening to a news channel. They were like, that is an insult that parents are shipping their children back to Nigeria. That that Nigeria is being portrayed to such children as if it's like a punishment. No, it is not a punishment. It is not a punishment. I'm telling you, if this boy actually puts his head down, he only maybe have to be in that boarding school for 2 years. And that's probably all he needs. And his brain, his mentality will be reset. It will change. Not for the worse, but for the better. And he will understand why or the action his parents took for him to go back to Nigeria. I remember when my parents came, when my mom came here years ago. I think my son was about maybe 7 or 8 years old then. And you all know, children in diaspora, they love to eat, especially boys. They eat a lot. So I think I was at work that day, or maybe I was at home. I can't remember what I was doing. So my son was in the kitchen cooking noodles for himself. And I think by age 8, my son was eating like 4 packets, or I think 3 or 4 packets of noodles. And I could hear my mom saying, how many noodles are you cooking? And he was telling my mom that 3 or 4 noodles. And my mom was like, that noodle is too much. You should only cook 2. Do you know what my son did? And then my mom was, by that time, my mom was already here for about 3 months. My son came to meet me and said, Mom, when is grandma going back to Nigeria? I said, why? He said, I was trying to make noodles, just 4 packs of noodles. And she said 4 packs of noodles was too much. After my mom said that to him, he would not go into the kitchen to go and cook noodles. He wouldn't. Instead, he would eat something else. Obviously, to my mom, it was like, my mom was like, 4 pack of noodles, 8 years old. That's too much. That's too much. 4 packets of noodles and 2 eggs. That's too much. Then he was 8 years old. So you can imagine, just because my mom said 4 packs of noodles is too much, my son came to meet me like, Mom, when is grandma going back to Nigeria? You guys see what I'm talking about here now. So children in diaspora, some children in diaspora are spoiled, and no matter what their parents say or ask them to do, nothing is going to make them change their mind. So, like I said, if I find myself in the shoes of this boy's parent, I would do the same. And I'm not doing it because I want to punish the child. I just want the child to mellow down. Take it slow. There are some orders you need to pass first. Don't just leave those orders you need to pass and just jump to the end story. No, go by those orders one after the other. And that gang thing is not part of it. School should be the forefront of what you want to do. If you don't want to go to school, do you want to go into apprenticeship? Rather than walking about aimlessly with friends whom they don't want to go to college. And some of these children, some of their friends that they go about with, their parents don't even care if they even go to college or even if they go to school. Their parents don't care. Their parents don't care. But then your parents want you to go to school, but then you don't want to go to school. You want to be frolicking with those of your school or those of your friends who no longer go to school. They'll just wear their uniform and act as if they are going to school, but they don't ever show up in school. There was time that my son was moving about. I quickly, no. You go that way, you go that way. No chance. You go to school. There's a purpose why you have to go to school. You might not know it now, but later on, you will know. You might not know it now, or you will know the benefit of school. And if at the end of the day you finish high school, you think, oh, Mom, university is not the thing I want to do. I want to go into apprenticeship. Fine. Career advisor, let's go. We go meet career advisor. How do we get into apprenticeship? What kind of course do you want to do? And also, African parents, I just want to use this to advise other parents as well. I know African parents, they are like, I want my son or my children to go to university straight after secondary school. I want them to go to university straight. It is not all of these children that will go to secondary school. That will go to university. They are quite young. And as a 17-year-old who's just finished secondary school, they really do not know what they want to do. They really do not know what they want to do. So in my opinion and advice to parents, don't interfere in your children's career choice. Don't interfere in your children's career choice. So, for example of that, my oldest daughter, before she finished secondary school, she wanted to become a doctor. And we're like, okay, all right, we were choosing our subject. And before we know it, I want to become a dentist. And I was like, madam, what's going on? I was like, all right, okay, if that's what you want to do. Where she was doing the subject. And by the time she was in S3, mom, I want to be a radiographer. And I was like, from doctor to dentist to radiographer. Is everything okay? And then I was not concerned because I felt like she's still quite young. She doesn't really know what she wants to do. Okay. And then she came back again. She was like, she wants to study music. I'm like, auntie, come closer. Come closer. Me waiting. How many black people are singing that are topping the charts now on Apple Music? Go and find the name and bring it to me. That was the end of that conversation. And then she did all of her exams. She scaled through all her exams. So we're now down to radiographer and nursing. And at some point, she wanted to become a midwife. So that's three courses, that's three career paths, right? And these three career paths are quite good. Radiographer, that means you could be a band 5, band 6, and then you go up the scale like that. At least you have a job for life in the health industry. And then she wanted to become a nurse. And I was like, okay, that's still not bad. And then she wanted to become a midwife. And I'm like, okay, all three is still good. Guys, let me give you a shocker. By the time my daughter filled an university application and the course that she chose, she went for criminology. And I was like, when did that idea of criminology cropped up? Because I don't think you ever mentioned you want to study criminology to me. So she's now in third year university studying criminology, and there's a good career path for for studying criminology. So in my own opinion, as parents as well, don't interfere in your children's career path. Okay? There's a story of somebody else I know. This child, his parents intervened or interfered in his career choice. Now, this child is in third year of was in medicine, and he's struggling. He's been struggling from year one. And his mom was like, come, but you were the one that chose this course for yourself. Why are you struggling? Why are you saying you don't want to do it anymore? And this child was like, well, dad influenced me. Daddy influenced me. Oh, it would be good to have a doctor. Don't influence your children's career path. Lead them, advise them. But saying you must be a doctor, you must be a lawyer, we should refrain from doing that. Because at the end of the day, you find that there are lots of people who are going about with so many degrees that it's not what they want. And you find them at their later years, they end up going to university when they're like 30-something, 40-something. So in my own opinion, don't interfere in your children's career options. Lead them, advise them, guide them. But don't say it's a must to study law. So in the case of this boy now, the judge said during the hearing that the boy was subject to incredibly restrictive measures while in the UK, including having his location tracked through his mobile phone. I will track my child's location if I know that he or she is working aimlessly or is involved in activities that I cannot physically see what he is doing. So is it a crime? My colleagues at work, in fact, I think it was from them that I heard that you can track the location of your children via your phone. I'm like, how do you do that? The first time when I heard, I sent the app, the link to the app to all my children. That, oh yeah, I want all of it down. None of them downloaded the app. But obviously, their dad already had one that he had all 5 of them on, so he knows. As time goes on, my oldest, she removed herself from the app. So yeah, we no longer track her. If you like waka, wherever you waka, all of the story we've been telling, if you like listen, if you like don't listen, you are going to make your mistakes and you will learn from it. So I just say my own thing. I don't have to track a child. I don't have to. The youngest, she has a phone. Oh, mom, that's me. I finished from school. I'm just waiting for the bus, so number. And I'll say, okay. I know what time she finishes school. And I know, okay, obviously because of the rush hour, it will probably take her an hour to get home. And by the time it's starting to pass that an hour, I'm like, auntie, where are you? So this judge is being told that, the boy was being placed under restrictive measures in the UK. He was having his location tracked, which, in my own opinion, as a parent, it's not, as a parent, you've not overdone anything. You're just being concerned for the safety of your child. And which he said will be pretty unbearable for most 14-year-olds and boys. Like, how would it be unbearable, please? Guys, if anybody wants to come into the comment section, and if you want to join on to the hello, Light, how are you? If anybody wants to come into the backstage, let me know and I will drop the link in the comment section. I'm just rounding up here 1 hour and I will be out of the way and we'll be out of here. Like I said, these parents, me, I did not fault them. I did not fault them. And I was watching the Obodo Yibo TV and I was hearing a lot of people share their opinion, say it's the punishment, that it's not good for a child. It's not a punishment, especially for a child that you can see is about to start walking crooked, walking aimlessly, walking as if like a goat without rope around their neck. You need to pull that child back, like, no. And for, like I said, for those parents to have decided to come to that decision to send him to a boarding school back home in Nigeria, it must have been difficult for them. They will have seen that, no, if you don't take this action, this boy is going to go astray. And he'll probably, maybe at some point, get himself unalived. So the lawyer for the boy's father said that social workers had outlined that before the boy left the UK, there was difficulty in managing his behavior. So the parents were finding it difficult to manage his behavior. And in trying to manage them, the mother was using physical aggression on occasion to do so. So social workers were even involved. So they know that the parents were struggling to manage his behavior. See, like that's why I said that for the parents to have arrived at that decision to send him home, they would have tried all they could for that boy. They would have tried all they could to try and, okay, what do you need? How can we do this for you? How can we help you? What do you really want us to do? They've tried. Also, obviously, a social worker was already involved in this boy's case before they even sent him back to Nigeria. And the boy's father also continued saying that, but she also said that social workers had reported that it was frequently late to class, will sometimes stay out late. Remember what I said about the story of that boy? How he would disappear from home for 2-3 days. He will not know where his whereabouts, and then he will come back. He will stay out late, and that his school claimed it had suspicions about him engaging in criminal activities. See? The school claimed, in quotes, that they suspected that he is involved in criminal activities, in quotes, and made observations of him in expensive clothes and possession of phones with an S. 13-year-old that has no job. Where did he get multiple phones from? How is he able to afford expensive clothes? I'm sure his friends are not buying him Adidas, or they're not buying him Gucci, or they're not buying him, what are those? They're not buying him Fendi, like Pastor Toby. They're not buying him designer clothes. So if a 13-year-old boy is turning up to school in expensive clothes and multiple phones, school has every right to query where those things comes from. And they have every right to, involve his parents, because at the end of the day, peer pressure. His friends in school will see him at coming in with those things, and they're like, they will move around him, obviously, because they also want to belong. So the boy's father's lawyer also said that this caused his parents to have real concerns about where he was and who he was with. Exactly, I'll be concerned as well. I will be concerned as well. Like, I am your parent. Maybe I've only given you one phone, and how are you ending up with multiple phones? I buy you clothes at Primark. Why are you wearing Fendi? Why are you wearing Gucci? Why are you wearing designer outfits? Where did you get the money from? Where did you get the clothes from? So the lawyer also continued that the school recorded concerns about his social vulnerability and susceptibility to grooming. Had been accused of stealing phones and had a number of photographs of knives on his phone, including photographs of his friends holding knives. See, I beg me, I do not blame those parents though. Yeah, I do not. If you have a child that is possessing all these things I've read out, Niger straight. And the boy's father's lawyer also continued saying that from the father's perspective, there was a clear deterioration in his son's behaviors with a move towards criminal behavior. Like I said, a good child belongs to the father and the bad one belongs to the mother. So both parents have concerns. Obviously, the school already notified them. The social workers are involved already. It's just right for them to take action, because if they continue that way, if they leave him and say, oh, because they can't do anything, by the time he gets to an age whereby he can make decisions for himself, the parents would have nothing to say about it. In fact, they would not be able to control him anymore. They will not be able to control him anymore. And I think what his parents have done is to actually protect him from himself. In quote, there is no real acceptance from him of the risk to which he was exposing himself. So he won't now. He won't. So the lawyer continued that high quality care and education in a boundary settling was available in Africa, where the risks to which he exposed himself in the UK are not present. I don't understand that statement. So the lawyer continued that high quality care and education in a boundary setting, yes, because if school tell you you must be in your dorm by 6 o'clock, if they born you well, not be in your dorm for 6 o'clock. But in the UK, you see school opens at 8:45. You see some students coming in, strolling without a rush at 9:30, 9:45, when school started an hour ago. The teacher cannot do anything. They will just mark the child absent. That's all they can do. But in Nigeria, arrive at school late. Bankere, cane on your back. So the lawyer for the boy's father said he has great potential, which is likely to be squandered if he were to return to the UK. I agreed. Like maybe at the end of the day, maybe he only just needs to be in that boarding school for a year or two. He will learn. And I'm sure he will change. His ways will change. Like his behavior, his attitude is going to change. And yeah, obviously they've not concluded the case yet, and the hearing is going to continue at a later date. So in my own opinion, like I said, this boy's parents did the best for him. Some people might not agree, but this is my own opinion. I believe his parents did the right thing for him. No parents want to see their child unalive in their presence while they are still alive. So I felt like they've just protected him from getting himself unalive, because, like I said, we all know the story of gangs in London. Since I've been in school, I don't know much about gangs in Scotland, though. But anytime I hear any news about gangs, it's always in London. It's always in London. Even we've heard of how people who are innocently standing by the road, how they've been, they've been misrecognized as part of a rivalry gang, and they've shook them. We've heard of stories like that. So, guys, if any of you want to hop onto the backstage to hear your views and opinion, let me know, and I will drop the link in the comment section. Okay. Let me see if I can. I'm going to drop the link in the comment section. So if any of you want to drop in for a few minutes before we round up, let me know. I've dropped the link in the comment section there. So we've got another 8 minutes. If anybody wants to chip in one or two things, the link is in the comment section. Feel free to click into that, and let's have a view of your concern as well. And then if not, we'll just round up. So I'm waiting for you guys. Okay. If you want to say one or two things, the link is in the comment section there. If you want to jump onto the stage to say one or two things, please feel free to do so. So, like I said, in my own opinion, parents will always do the best for their children. But in this case, I felt like the UK, whatever consulate that this child contacted, they should just let the parents, continue with their decision about this boy, because it was already going wayward. The school's already complaining. The social service already complained. They have a note of his behavior, and if he was left that way, without trying to do something to curb him, it will grow into a situation whereby they won't be able to control him anymore. And then, God forbid, he's going to, probably get himself involved with some other gang crimes or something. They'll get him arrested and they will jail him. And yes, society misses that. I will come and blame the parent if the news come out that as an African parent, you did not think of anything else to do. So I'm rounding up, guys. If any of you want to say one or two things, the link is in the comment section. Please feel free to join in. And while we are waiting, in case anybody wants to say anything, please like this live stream. And also, our end of the year giveaway is on Sunday. Yay! So if you've not entered the giveaway, you will not be entered into it too. So go and enter into the giveaway. There's a video, or there's a live stream video on my channel with the instructions on how to enter the giveaway. So there's a 500,000 naira cash giveaway. So we're going to be doing like a random. So that obviously there's this wheeler or whatever they call to check the numbers. We're going to wheel it, and then any number that comes on, that's how we're going to go about it. I'm not going to ask you any jam question because you want to win 20,000 naira, you want to win 25,000 naira. I'm not asking you any jam question. So the simple instruction is that go to that video, follow the instruction, and then come back onto that video, comment there that you follow the instruction, and choose a number between 1 and 200. There's a comment that was pinned on that video. Check there to be sure that the number you are picking has not been taken by somebody else, because if the number you select has been taken already, I'm going to reply to say, I'm going to reply you saying choose another number. So there's a 500,000 naira giveaway cash that's going to be shared among as many people that that entered. A mobile phone is also going to be won. It's not a brand new phone, all right, but when I use my gadgets, I use it clean. This tablet that is here, this tablet that I have here is an Apple tablet. I've been using it for over 2 years, and I could sell it for new. So, and also a Galaxy tablet is also going to be one. I think I have it somewhere here. Let me show you guys. So this tablet is also going to be one. It's brand new. I just opened it to look at what it looks like. So it's still wrapped in its original packing. I've never turned it on. I've never turned it. Hello, Adebimpe. I'm just rounding up. Oh, if you have the time, please watch again. So that's the tablet there, and it's got a stylo pen as well. It's brand new. Okay, Samsung Galaxy tablet, brand new. So this is going to be one as well, and the mobile phone. I can't find it now, but the mobile phone that's going to be one is called Samsung A05 or something. That's the mobile phone that's going to be one. And as a host, I am also accepting Christmas present too. So DM me, and thank you to those of you who have actually been PayPaling me. I received a PayPal a few days ago. You know yourself. Thank you so much. That's my Christmas present. So if you want to know, like I said, I'm collecting Christmas present too. I am not shy, because I have done well. I've done well for myself this year. So if you want to PayPal me, you can reach out to me via my Instagram to ask my PayPal, or if you check in the description of my videos, my PayPal account is there. And if you want to super chat me, you feel free to do so. If you want to super chat me via YouTube, feel free to do so as well. But yes, I am accepting Christmas present to not be only us go they give. And also, lastly, before I go, I just want to say I want to say thank you to those of you who have actually, supported this giveaway, that sponsored this giveaway. There are 3 of you, and you all mean a lot to me, all right? I'm going to be praying for all 3 of you. I'll be praying for you every day. Like, you'll be in my prayer book every day, and that God will continue to bless you. Let me recommend. Susan said, coming back is the best for him. You'll be grateful you'll be grateful in his later days of what his parents did for him. Now, he might not understand, but I hope that they just drop this case, allow him leave him there. Yeah, maybe they can keep checking it on him, obviously, because they are not trusting his parents enough to be able to take their responsibility on him. But still, I just felt like that was the best thing to do, with all the behaviors that has been, being recorded. Assuming there was no authority involved in regards to his behavior, in regards to how he's starting to go, like, they're suspecting him of criminal activities. There were pictures of his friends holding knives. There were pictures of different knives in his phone and stuff like that. So maybe if there was none of that, if there was no concern of that, maybe his parents might not have made Zeno say, Mama, please confirm my number is valid though. I need to win. Oh yeah, Zeno, you are allowed to go and enter. I'm gonna check your number and I will give you a green tick. This Zeno will not let me rest. Okay, you and Abby, you are not excluded anymore. You are allowed to enter because you have been. Abby is admin. I think I need to make Zeno admin as well. But I was saying that all of my admins, you now not go enter the giveaway because even Banigo is part of the admin. I don't know why I allowed that enter the giveaway. But yes, everybody, like, it's open to everybody. Okay. Hello, Zeno, how are you? I'm just rounding up. And like I said, I'm also a host. I'm a host, and host is allowed Christmas presents. So you guys should water my flower. Praise Jesus. Hallelujah. Praise Jesus. So yeah, you guys, being a host, Abby, you guys need to give something to the host as well, okay? So I'm accepting Christmas present too. I'm not too old and I'm not too young to collect Christmas presents. Anyway, guys, since nobody's jumping onto the backstage, you say what, Zido? Did you win? Why am I just hearing this? Tiwa was giving people 1 million on a live today. Me, I'm not as rich as Tiwa Savage now. But we'll get there. Once we make more money on YouTube, we will get there. We'll be doing giveaway every month. Wow. And Tiwa is, I've never heard her do giveaway of cash before, but if she's doing it now, that's good. At least the way Nigeria is going now, even if you win free money, that you don't have to go and sweat under the sun to if you win money, free money that you don't even have to go and sweat under the sun to get, you'll be thankful to God. So just like I said in my previous video, that this giveaway, I don't have millions, I don't have billions, but it's just my way of giving back into my community. Okay, it might not be a lot, but the previous giveaway that I did, I know how appreciative the people who won. How they sent me prayers in the DM, and they were praying, they were thankful. They appreciated, and they were like, this money is going to go a long way in what they were planning on the money for. So I just pray also that the people who have sponsored this giveaway, and if you still want to add money, if you say, that mom of 5, I want to add 400,000, or mom of 5, I want to add 200,000, please DM me by my Instagram handle. We have until Sunday, okay? It's on Sunday that we're going to do the giveaway. So if it's DM me, someone just recently DM me there that they wanted to add more money. Hence why before we were 350,000 naira. So someone else contacted me and added an extra 150,000 naira. I was like, so there are people on this street that God just used them. So if God puts it in your heart to to sponsor this giveaway as well, feel free to DM me on my Instagram handle. If you want a Naira account, I have a Naira account. If it's Naira you want to transfer, I have a Naira account. I will give it to you. You can put cash in there. You didn't win. Sorry, Zeno. And if it is PayPal or UK account that you're wanting, let me know. If you're in the UK or you're in the US, you want to PayPal the money to me for the giveaway, feel free to DM me as well. And and God will bless you richly as you do that. Zero says some people want 2 million. Wow. I'm happy for them. At least 2 million in today's world is a lot of money. Congratulations to them. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go now since nobody's jumping onto the back room to say one or two things. That's fine. But like I said, I hope with this live stream we've learned one or two things, and I've been able to share my own side of how things are, and also as parents we should not interfere. We should not choose our children's career for them. We can only guide them, but saying you must be a lawyer, you must be a doctor, you won't be. No, we don't do that, because at the end of the day, you don't want something that they are doing and they are not enjoying studying, and which means that they'll finish studying, you figure out that they don't even want to go find a job using that degree. And it's best we allow that, as long as what they are wanting to study is something that will fetch them income, it's something that they will love and they'll be happy doing it. As long as that's what that is, then for me, I'm happy with that. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. This is the end of this live stream. Please like and share if you're just watching or if you're just joining in. I really appreciate. Engage with the topic. There are lots of videos. I've been doing the vlogmas as well. You guys are not even hailing me. You are not giving me bosa. You are not giving me 3 bosa that I'm doing. It's the 12 of the vlogmas already, and I've been dropping video every day, and I'm not seeing comment. People are not engaging. Like now, what for now? Now what? Anyway, that's all I've got to say now. I'm working tomorrow, which is Friday. It's going to be a long shift for me. I think I'm working 12 hours tomorrow. So I'm starting at 7. I'm finishing 8 o'clock. So, and I'm trying to edit the video for tomorrow's vlogmas. So hopefully it will be ready for one of. And yes, I set up my Christmas tree. I set up my Christmas tree. I can't believe how long it took me. I finally set up my Christmas tree. That took several calls to pass it first to this morning that I am at home. I want to know when that your driver has attempted 3 deliveries, when people have been at home. But today I am at home. So yeah, it was delivered this morning and it's been set up. So I'm just editing that video now, and you guys will see that video tomorrow. So thank you so much, guys. Have a lovely Thursday night, evening, wherever you are. And I hope you guys are all sorted or getting ready for Christmas. This season, I wish I'm in Nigeria to enjoy the Christmas. I've not experienced Christmas in Nigeria in a long time. So, but let God be with us more than this year, okay? Because by this time next year, I'll probably be spending my Christmas in Nigeria next year. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. Lots of love to each and every one of you who have been here. And if you're joining this live stream from the beginning, from now, if you have the chance, please feel free to watch from the beginning. And if you've watched and you've not yet subscribed and you're just watching from the fence, jump the fence and sit down. By liking, drop a comment, subscribe, share the video, and I hope to see you guys later. And there's another live stream I want to talk about, and I think maybe that will be sometimes in the coming week. And because I don't really want to be posting other videos when I'm doing vlogmas. It seems that people are watching, they're like, she wants to kill us. How many videos? So yeah, I think I'll delete that video to maybe the new year. Anyway, guys, thank you so much, and I shall see you all later. All right. Bye, everyone. Bye.